This is the story of Odysseus. Once upon a time in ancient Greece, there lived a man named Odysseus. Odysseus came from a long line of prophylactic war heroes. He fought valiantly in the Trojan War, and his father before him fought in the Durex War, and his grandfather before that in the Lifestyles War, ribbed for her pleasure. Unfortunately for Odysseus, after the war, he and his 12 ships got lost because of storms. Trying to get back home, they came across the lotus eaters. These people ate lotuses day and night. It was their only source of food. Except the lotus plant was a narcotic and highly addictive. Many years later, the lotus companies would have to put warning labels on their product that said, "Danger, eating lotuses may cause euphoria," which didn't seem to deter people. And they'd have to stop airing Lenny Lotus lover cartoons because they were targeting children. 2 of Odysseus' crew members ended up going on a lotus binge and didn't even want to leave the island. But Odysseus was like, oh hell no, and he put them in solitary confinement to get them off the smack cold turkey. F***ing junkies. Odysseus and his crew set sail and landed on another island. This island was home of the Cyclops. The Cyclops was an enormous, one-eyed, man-eating guy who was quite fond of shepherding. Odysseus wandered into his cave while the Cyclops was gone doing whatever a shepherd does with his sheep, and he came upon some provisions. But then the Cyclops came back and trapped him in the cave. Then he ate 2 of the men, which was a nice treat for him because he hadn't had Greek food in a long time. A little tzatziki sauce, some sliced onion, nom 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 nom. But this really upset Odysseus, so Odysseus got Cyclops drunk, and Cyclops promised to give Odysseus a gift if he would reveal his name. But Odysseus was still mad that Cyclops had eaten his buddies alive, and he didn't like Cyclops' mouth words. So he took a wooden stick and stabbed out his sight ball. But Odysseus and his men were still trapped in the cave. They had to wait for the Cyclops to take his sheep out in the morning. He would feel each sheep as it passed to make sure it wasn't a man escaping. So Odysseus and his men tied themselves to the undersides of the sheep so they could slip out undetected. Well, at least that's the story they told Homer. It seems to me this was totally unnecessary. But hey, some sailor dudes, a little bit of wine, no women. Maybe they were a little too eager to get underneath those sheep. Just saying. So they finally escaped and set sail from the island. This is when they encountered the sirens. The sirens were a couple of chicks who would sing terrible songs, but you couldn't stop listening, and then they got in your head and you wanted to f***ing kill yourself. And then you did kill yourself. Odysseus had been warned about the sirens. Their YouTube video had 84 million thumbs down and only a handful of thumbs up, which were obviously from fake accounts. So he told his sailors to plug their ears with beeswax. But he wanted to see what all the hype was about, so he didn't plug his own ears. He just had the crew tie him to the mast of the ship. He would never get their song out of his head for the rest of his life. When Odysseus got home, he found his wife with like 200 suitors, and he was like, oh hell no, and killed all of them. And his wife was all, where were you? And his only response was, party and party and yeah, party and party and yeah, fun, 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 fun. Come back next time for the tale of the storyteller who always has her book upside down. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend.